Great, great. So I'm gonna go on. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Sorry about that. We're having a little bit of difficulties, but we are good to go. Welcome, guys. And of course, my name is Ade Ladende, and welcome to Chat with Ade. And I know it's early in the morning for most of y'all. You're used to having us in the evening, but bear with us. And do click the share button. Let's try and get more people onto the platform. Till then, 1 minute. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back, Miss Folu. Thank you, thank you. Hey, how are you? Yes, we're back. We're back. We're back. So sorry, guys. A little bit of technical difficulties this morning. I'm like, the devil did not want me to interview this handsome man, but the devil is a liar. So, welcome, welcome. Let me bring him on board, because we know he's a busy man, and it was like it took a minute to try to get him to be able to come on with us today. So we thank you and we thank God. So let me bring this handsome man that is all over the media at the moment, Mr. Kuti.
Hi, Ladende.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too
Okay, I
bad
hope
at
the
all.
volume is fine. Or do you need to
Yes,
turn it? Or is the volume fine, or do I need to turn it up a
yes.
little bit? It's
It's
fine.
it's
All right.
good. It's good. Can you hear me well?
Absolutely clear. Crispy clear.
Oh, that's superb. Yes, not just only on your side. I also had issues on my side, so it took me a minute to now try to communicate with you. I'm like, where are you? But
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. Usually,
yeah,
when I have an interview, I'm there 5 minutes before because I give provision for technical issues and stuff. So I've
yes.
been backstage, trying to log in and stuff, and
Oh
I'm wondering like,
no.
what's going on? Why
I'm like,
today?
did you go back to sleep? I know it's early on your side.
No, I mean me. I'm an early riser. Once it's 5 in the morning, my day starts. It doesn't stop until 12 midnight again. So
I know.
yeah,
I was even thinking also. I'm like, is that he's sleeping or he's held up on some other interview? And that's what I
no, no,
assumed.
no, no, no. I've been up since 5. I've been to the gym this morning. I've done it.
Oh
I've been up
boy,
like 4 hours this morning
one
already.
of
So
those early risers.
yeah.
I'm not one of those, but yeah. Welcome, welcome. So let me introduce you properly. Our producer, actor, presenter, also does some modeling, of
Wow.
course, and waxing strong right now in the entertainment industry, especially Nollywood. And we are honored to have you here on Chat with Adi. Welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me. It's an amazing show. I've been looking forward to this, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun along with all our viewing audience. It's good.
Yes.
I know you guys. I can't see you guys, but hello, guys. Thank you
Yeah,
for
they're
coming
there.
through.
They're there.
Looking
They're
forward
there.
to your amazing questions and my one-on-one session with you. Up until we can do it in person. So it's good to
Oh,
be here.
yes. So before we even start, we know you'll be coming down to our side of Canada next month
Yeah.
for Amala White Chelsea Currencies event. So for those who have not bought their ticket, I'm advertising for her. She's going to pay me later. Amala Night, you guys come out. That is October 10th. You're definitely going to be seeing Mr. Adetiba. We're going to be there. He's going to be there. Like, we are going to be there. We are going to be there live.
Yeah.
And
So
so you guys come out, get the ticket, come say hello live and direct. Right?
absolutely, absolutely. Let's rep the culture.
Mm-hmm. So Miss Follow is there. She's saying hello. She's saying, "Oh, got you, Mr. Tiger." LOL. Yes, yes, yes. So once I'll be posting the comments. I'm sure you can also see the comments. That we have
Absolutely.
questions. I'll be posting it up there.
All right.
So yeah. So before they come in with their comments, let me start with my own questions.
All
So,
right.
of course, Mr. Kuti, Mr.
Please,
Femi.
Titi or TK, don't come and turn me to an old man before my time.
Before
Don't
your
please, God,
time.
please.
Oh boy. Okay, okay. Let's bring it down a notch.
Titi
Let me
or
one that
TK.
will work. Do you know that my sister's name is also Titi?
Oh, for
So
real?
it's funny
Wow.
when I say Titi, it sounds like I'm calling my sister. So
Amazing.
TK.
Okay.
Let's come down with TK. No problem, no problem. So now the first question, TK, are you related to, of course, the late Femi? Because we have to ask, because everybody's asking, like, okay, Kuti Kuti, is it the son of Fela Kuti? What's going on? So please let's clear the air a bit.
Well, the truth is that this particular question has been making the rounds for some time now. Personally, I've seen about 3 articles about it. There was even one that was so bold and daring to say that I was Fela's hidden son. You know, like they were doing some digging into finding out who my mother was. I'm like, what's going on? So the truth of the matter is, yes, we are related. It's the same family, but I am not Fela's son. All right. I will say it every time I have to say it. I've greatly admired him since childhood as a visionist whose message is through his art and would
Mhm.
never be silenced for any reason. So I've admired, I've watched his lifestyle, but the truth has to be told. People need to be fair with the truth. I am not his son. I'm not Fela's son, all right? My father is still very much alive, and his name is Tunde. And I think he even read one of those articles. I laughed over it the last time I spoke to him on the phone. Like, I didn't realize that you had, another father apart from me. So, but I know that it's the name is a strong name, so
Yeah.
there's a likelihood for stories to want to go a certain direction. But I think this is me speaking as a professional myself,
Mm-hmm.
in the journalism and media field, your stories carry more weight when there's fact behind it. All right, don't release stuff that are not factual. All right. I mean, if you have done just a little more research, like I've been in this industry for some time, you
Yes.
can't you can't go too far before you find my history. You can't
Yes.
go too far.
Just do
So
a
for
little
you,
research.
for wild insinuations like me being Fela's hidden son, like who's my mother and all of that, I know who my mother is and she's not Fela's wife. And as much as we're a family, I grew up in the Keja for some time, yes, but I never grew up in Calacutta Republic. Like, I just knew them as family.
Oh,
So hopefully
mhm.
this would squash that notion. Because trust me,
Okay.
this was flying around, and I had an interview with a Nigerian newspaper called Tribune,
Yeah.
um, and the center of my interview, 60% was on this topic, not even KOB.
Oh
They were
no.
interested in knowing the relationship between me and Fela Kuti, and what's the when I confronted that it was the same family, they wanted to understand where exactly in the family. I'm like, yo, guys,
It's not all
my
about
father's an
that.
amazing guy. He's done great things. I feel very proud to be related by blood to such
Yeah.
a monumental individual. But the truth is
Mhm.
the truth. He is not my father.
You
He's not
guys,
my
you've
father.
heard it. It is not his father. He is not the strange stock somewhere. Okay, but they are indeed blood related. It's just the name that is going around. So we have one of our fans here that Babarati. It says, "Hey Titi, I think I know you. Do you live at Barua inside sometime in the past?"
That's where my parents live to date. So
Oh,
my childhood was a mix of growing up in Lagos Island, Sulere. I'm a, like I'm a how do you call it? My family is like a first dweller in Lagos.
mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that already. So, but even though we're originally from Abeokuta, but we're first dwellers in Lagos.
Rup,
So
rup,
yeah,
rup.
actually, it's the same. Everybody knows the Kuti lineage actually is from Ogun State. You know.
Yeah,
So
we
yeah,
rep,
so I
rep
lived
Ogun
in
State hard.
I've lived in Lagos Island, lived in Sulere, and then my parents eventually moved to that area that you just mentioned. It's called,
Mention
the correct pronunciation is Barua, not Barua. It's
Barua.
Barua. Yeah, it's an Hausa name of a former general. That's like the
Barua.
first person who lived here, Barua.
Okay.
So it's a Hausa name. So that's what till date. That's where my parents actually still live. That's
They're still
their
there.
retirement from here. So
Oh,
some 20 some 16, 17 years back, yes, I was there for some time.
okay. So if some people just want to, like, see you, meet you once, they should just go to that area. Last time they
Ah,
will see you.
it'll be very difficult because um
You don't go home
even
to
when I
visit the
go home
parents.
to visit, it's never announced, and my movements, because of the industry that I am. Sometimes
Yes.
it's at night that I come in, and I'm out in the morning, and it's not very regular. Like my dad is like is like a guy man, so once we do thumbs up to ourselves on WhatsApp, we're good for another 1 week. We don't have to talk every day. We don't got to, we don't do that. I mean, I'm happy for those that have that kind of relationship, and they can talk to their parents every day. And I've never been that kind of child.
Person.
And my dad is so cool with it because I mean he's not much of a talker either. Just
So I
hit the
guess you
point
are
on
both
it and you're good.
like father, like son.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, we
man.
have.
So
So Mr. Babarotti says that, yay, it's you. I was always measuring my height beside you without you noticing. Oh. I got to speak to you once, asking you if you were a model. Well, he's a model.
yeah, I started my career with modeling actually. So that was my first taste of
Mhm.
I would say stardom was from modeling.
For modeling.
And this was a long time ago. I'm talking way back when I was like 19, 20. So I did a full exposure campaign for a telecommunications company back in Nigeria then, and they were and it was huge. It was airport branding. It was a
Wow.
television commercial. It was a print and billboard. So for like 1 year, my face was everywhere. So that was
Wow.
the first time I actually did have a taste of being popular, and
Yeah.
I
So
think I
you've
managed
been in the game for like a minute.
to yeah, for a minute.
So while we're on this, you've been in the game for a minute now. Let me ask you. I did a little bit of digging, but I just couldn't get the exact year. But I got that your birthday is July 30.
Yeah.
So July 30, 1970, 80,
No, it's not 70s. It's early 80s.
early
It's
80s,
early 80s. Yeah, about early 80s. Not early
86,
early like 1988, come on, but
83,
early enough. Early towards the middle
84.
20s. So we leave that in the kitty. I'm a young boy, please, please, please. I'm a young man.
Hey,
Young
guy
men
man
do
now.
that, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Miss Police says that you look like you're in your 20s. Oh.
Oh, for real, I take that as a compliment. If I look 20s at my age now, I should be thanking the Lord. The Lord has
Hmm.
been good.
I don't agree with that one. Which kind of 20? I
Please let me
beg.
enjoy my compliments. Don't come and steal
Okay, let me
my
leave
one
it
minute
there,
of
Pele.
grace.
I'm sorry, sir.
Thank you, Miss Bolu,
Miss
right? Thank you
Polu.
so much. I appreciate it. I'm sure you look very pretty too. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I know there's a question that, of course, most of my friends they want me to ask, but sorry, guys, we're not allowed to ask those questions. So we'll move to the next question, okay? So, like you just said, now you started with modeling.
Yeah.
So, from modeling, how come you did not go into modeling since you were really making headways in the modeling, what do you call it, career? Like, how or why didn't you continue with modeling, and then how did you now jump into the whole acting?
Okay. Thank you very much. It's a good question. I did continue for some time. I did a couple of campaigns, and I did, runway for some time. Runway was the shortest bit for me, all right, because it was too time consuming and it required too much for me. And I was in school also, so I had to fulfill my educational obligations too. That much was no. You can do anything else, but
Mm-hmm.
your education in my house, you can't compromise
You
that.
can't play with
And I
that.
wasn't willing to compromise it either because I was enjoying it. So the transition was when modeling took a downturn, and there was so many agencies out there that started to, I wouldn't say extort. I mean, it could be a ripple effect of what they were getting from their clients too, but the money wasn't attractive anymore. You had more people who were interested in modeling. They were not so structured anymore as far as briefs were concerned. I mean, you go to a casting where you're expecting to see guys between the ages of 20 and 30, and then you're seeing 60 something year old men and even women. And then you're
Yeah.
like, didn't somebody get the brief? And this continued for some time.
Oh.
Initially when we started, um, you go to a casting and the most you would see is 100 people. That's at most. That's about 10 models from every modeling agency.
Mm-hmm.
But as at the time I started taking the back toll, you go to casting, you meet 5,000 people, and you're like 5,000 people, and then eventually you go through all of that. I turned a couple of jobs down. I mean, you go through all of that, and then they offer you ridiculous money. But
Mm.
some people, because of the exposure, or because of the troubles they've been through to get that far, they will take it. But I'm like, no, I know the value of what you're trying to do. So I mean, don't. I'd rather just step away than be
Yeah.
undervalued. And then I took a
Mhm.
leap. Like, you know what? It's time to activate the next phase. As at that time, I'd already started eyeing television. So I walked into Nigeria TV one day, and I met with a couple of them, and I told them I was interested, in working with them. I didn't know anybody.
Hmm.
Okay,
Bold.
I knew one person, but I didn't really know anybody there per se. So I just went there. I used to ride a bike back then, so I went to my power bike and small a fizzy, I
Mm-hmm.
smoked when I landed. So and that's how I got into Nigeria, and I
Wow.
became a presenter. The boss tried me out on a couple of shows, and he liked the reviews, and he kept me on. So that's how the transition happened. So I
Wow.
moved from modeling to becoming a television presenter.
Presenter.
So from presenting, I sometimes my boss then Kwame would be on set when I'm working, and he would always see my input into the back scenes and stuff. And then
Yeah.
he started giving me troubles, like serious troubles, like, mans, you have the ruggedity for production. Don't just come and limit yourself here by. I mean, my platform is for expansion, and it doesn't mean that there's only one thing you got to grow. So I see you got the potential for this, and I'm going to drive you
Mm-hmm.
until you can make something of it. And that's what happened. I became the presenter
Wow.
of my own show. 3 months later, I became the producer of my show in addition to
Sure.
presenting it. 3 months later, I was giving 4 other shows. So I was producing 5 shows and presenting one. By the end of that year, I became the head of production
Ah. Ah.
in the
Hmm.
channel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So shortly after, big formats productions came around. Nigeria's I think the first one was Glow Niger Sings. Glow
Hmm.
Niger Sings, Nigeria's Got Talent, Nigerian Idols came next, Nigeria's Got Talent. I worked on all those shows. So that's
Wow.
how I was absorbed into production. Because from Nigeria, I moved straight to Nigerian Idols. From Idols, I moved to Nigeria's Got Talent. After Nigeria's Got Talent, I moved to Glow Niger Sings. So, and this was a transition of about 3 years. Those shows take like 6 months each. So when you do
Yes.
a show for 6 months, you're good for the rest of the year. Or
Yes.
you can do other things, but I mean, you can't do anything principal again when you have done one project for six for six
Yes.
for 6 months.
6 months.
So that went on for like another 4 years, and that's how the absorption actually
Mm.
came. So that's let's stop the story there for now. So I don't answer some of your questions before you ask them.
Ah, yeah, you answered. But Miss Polu says, what did you study in school? I know you went to LASU, right?
Hey, people have got to dig me out. All right, so if I were to go by profession, I should be a HR practitioner. What I studied was in some countries called human relations management as HRM. In Nigeria or in last it was called industrial relations and personnel management. In some other schools, it's called industrial labor relations. But I all of them, they are all tied in HR.
HR.
HR, and I never practiced. I never practiced. The
Also,
closest thing I think I did to bureaucracy was working in an advertising agency. And trust me, it wasn't
any
anywhere near HR. It was more
at
of
all.
activations, branding, and yeah. So
That's it. Also, we have Starboard Entertainment. It says true. Hello. I'm going back to work. I'll catch you on Twitter. Nice one, Ade from BGNO. Wow, keep working on yourself. Relevant to the industry is very important. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm just going to have some of those comments. So a lot of people can't wait to see you, in Canada. Of course, they've put it on their calendar. They're going to be
I'm
seeing you.
coming through. I actually
I'm
have
going to
three
be
other
eating
events apart from
amala
the one you
together.
mentioned, but
Hey.
I'm not gonna publicize until they publicize it themselves. So I'll just wait until.
We already helping them to publicize it. They've been publicizing it. Okay, so our next question will be, if not for entertainment, clearly that was where God wanted you to get into.
Yeah,
But let's just say, if not for that, what else would you think you would have found yourself doing?
I'll be in the military.
In the military.
Absolutely. Or I'll be a pilot or both, a military pilot.
Mm,
The military was
wow.
always my first love from childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So creativity came along and then stole it, but that was my first love, and I've always had the spine for it, even till now. So trust me, I've had some I've had to resist some very very strong temptations, but that phase is almost past. But yeah, that's the only thing else I probably would have done. I'll probably have been in the military or I'll have been a pilot.
They said it suits you. That's what some people are saying. You seem you have a lot of admirers on this our program. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, admiring you.
I
So
admire them all back. Oh, it's all
definitely.
positive energy. Thank you guys. I love you guys all like that.
So our next question, of course, with do you have any mentors? Since you know you're going from one to the next, some
Yeah.
people will be like, "What should I do next so that I don't make the wrong turn or make the wrong decision?" Did you have any mentors that helped you guide you in what next to take, decisions to take?
So what I did was I had a lot of mentors, some of which I never even met before. You get me? Because I believe that if you're going in one direction, it's fine. You can find one person that has excelled in that direction and shadow the person and do exactly what they do. But if
Yeah.
you're going in multiple directions, like I'm not the kind of person that thinks uh jack of all trades, master of none. No. You can actually be anything you want to be. You can do as many things as you want to do. It doesn't mean you can do them all at the same time. But in some phases in life you can do two. In
Mm-hmm.
some places in life, you can do three. You can grow and expand. You will make mistakes. You will fall. You will fail. I mean, all of that encompassing, but it doesn't change the fact that you can. I mean, you can cut across. Like I look at how many departments I've cut across in production, even before I came into acting per se, and
Mm-hmm.
all those departments, I can function competently even to now. So I mean, so I've had a lot of people that as far as acting is concerned, I have people that I definitely um that I'll call mentors, and some of them I know closely. Shola Bali is definitely one of them, because she's a bosom friend. Let's leave the
Mm-hmm.
acting aside. And forget the age difference. I can't call her anything less. She's a bosom friend. She's a
Wow.
true friend. She's real like that. She doesn't
Mm-hmm.
do halfway. She's
Mm.
with you 100, or she's not with you. So, and she's somebody that I can always pick up the phone and call and talk to, and she has a wealth of experience. This is
Yeah.
somebody who started from theater back in the days, grow through the ranks to
Mm-hmm.
mainstream now. So that's somebody I can always talk to. RMD is one of them too. I don't get to talk to him very often, but the few times we talk,
Mm-hmm.
it's resourceful conversation. So I have a couple of them like that. I have even younger colleagues that your colleagues that are like my contemporaries, and but because of the strides they've taken, their
Yeah.
wealth of experience, I would definitely call them mentors too, because Incel, Tony Tones, these people, we have resourceful conversations that help me develop myself. So a
So
mentor doesn't necessarily mean it's one
yeah.
person that's up there. Anybody
Mm-hmm.
that helps you develop yourself, helps you develop yourself, or develops
Yes.
a skill or capacity, has mentored you to a large extent. So I'm not a one mentor person. Sorry, I have
Mm-hmm.
plenty people that across different spheres of the career that have
Yeah, plenty of
imputed,
skills
or that
now.
I even shadowed. Many I've not even met. I've never met. Samuel L.
Yeah.
Jackson is my mentor. I've never met him before. So that's how it is
Hearing
for me.
now. That's sweet. We have Bolani Notiok. Welcome, welcome. So our next question definitely would be: how do you feel being part of this great project that our Kemi Adetiba put together? How did you feel that yes, you were part of it? How did that make you feel?
Well, I feel very proud, and not just for myself. I Every opportunity I have to say this, I always do that. KOB for me was never about the individual. It was always beyond me from the start.
Mhm.
It was about Nollywood in general. It was about the progress and success of narratives as far as the African stories are concerned in general. So
Mhm.
being part of a project like that has positioned or has redefined the importance of narrative, importance of language, sorry, in selling the narrative, even to the Western world. People are understanding now that you don't have to make a Nigerian film where everybody's talking over the top of their nose. But no, before you can tell. That's not you can't do that more than the people who own the language. The people
Mhm.
who actually own the language, the Westerners, that is their language. It's not, you get me. This is
Yeah.
it's their nativity.
Mhm.
So what they want to see is your stories, how you tell your stories. And you can't come and tell your stories trying to mimic or imitate them. You gotta be indigenous. They want to see that root stuff. Look at how many proverbs were in KOB. Trust me, there
Mhm.
are so many people that have hit me up from Germany, Dutch people that don't speak English. They speak English but not too well. They don't speak Yoruba. They don't know anything about Africa. They read the subtitles. They read the meanings of those things. But
Yes.
what they are intoxicated about is the embodiment of those characters, because there are some things that you can't say in English, because
Mhm.
it goes with a certain attitude, it goes with a mood, and you
Mm.
can't have that mood except to speak in the language.
Yes.
And these are the things that would set you apart. They will give you that extra special buzz.
Mm.
You get what I mean? So
Yes,
it's a proud
definitely.
project that has always been beyond me as an
You.
individual. I am
Mm-hmm.
happy that I was able to give my best, and whatever I did was able to give all the audience such an experience. That's every actor's joy, to be able to give your audience an experience. It's not even it's beyond the money. The fulfillment you get from that is beyond anything, and anything material that can be offered. The fact that somebody watched your performance and whatever was going on in their life at that point in time, they put it aside,
Mm.
and they focused on the experience you were giving them. It's a
Yes.
priceless thing. It's a rare honor. To be very
Yes.
honest, it's a rare honor to be able to impact people that much. And
Yes.
that's what it is for me. It's not it's never been about the individual. It's always been the bigger picture all the way.
So it's Miss Foley says authenticity, of course, is key. Oh yes, and they said nice one. Your look is just like a pilot. They're about to make it matter. Okay, so of course, so we have to ask you, how did you meet Adetiba? Like, how did you meet
Hmm.
her? How did you guys, connect?
Well, that's a very interesting story. I must tell you, and possibly someday myself and Shola Shibali would make a film about it, because it wasn't deliberate, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
it was deliberate, but it was not obvious. But I know today, I know till today that there are some gray areas that show that she somehow orchestrated it. So
Oh.
yes, let me break it down for you.
Mm-hmm.
So myself and Shola Shibali, I just finished. I was a producer for an African magic show called Hustle for 3 years,
Okay, also, yeah.
and Shola Shibali was a cast on the show. So I mean, that's to tell you how our working relationship has been. Both,
Uh, mm.
yeah. And shortly after the show, we were together on the remake of a '90s blockbuster called Palace. Anybody that grew up in Nigeria in the '90s would know Palace. With Antalani and the rest of it. It was very big back in the day. So it was a
Mm.
remake, and in the film, I played her son.
Oh.
Yeah, so that I'm just trying to set the
Mm-hmm.
foundation for people to understand the relationship, that from behind the scene to on screen, we have a relationship, we understand ourselves. So we had just finished African Magic Hustle season 3. The show was doing good, it was airing and stuff. KLB was about to start. I think this was in 2017. Yeah. So they were about to start filming KOP and the rest of it. I know Atushola had been pressuring me because I was filming something else for Smart Media. Smart Media are the producers of MTV Sugar in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. Yes. Sorry about that.
They're looking for you. Answer them, answer
I'm busy.
them.
Go on.
Yeah, so Smart Media are the producers of MTV Sugar in Nigeria, or at least back then. So I was filming something else for them. And my hotel camp was, I think, 5 minutes away from Shola's hotel camp for KOB. So after I finished filming one of those days, I think I just finished filming the first round of episodes. So I was going to go home for about a week and just, have a breather. And then I saw her message, just attacking me, because she will attack you. She's not going to hold you back. She will attack you. Like, you are in this Lekki, you are in so place. You have not come to look for me. Something, something, something. This fight, I want to see who will help us end it. Ah. So what I did was I was already on the express, and I turned around and I headed back to the hotel camp that she was just planning to give her a surprise visit and all that. And I didn't reply her messages. And she was already getting offended that this boy is not replying my message. What's wrong with you? Because she's a personal friend like that. She will take it personal so quickly. Like, why are you not replying me? You get me? And then I got to the hotel and then I called her and it was like, I'm enjoying myself. Something, something, something. I should continue. Anyway, she's very, very good with proverbs even behind the scene. I can't remember how she said it in Yoruba, but um the proverb was like, continue going.
Mm-hmm.
It is here I will wait that you come and meet me. It was something like "Ọmọ tó bá kiri lọ, yín ló máa gbé bọ̀." Something like that,
Mm.
like if you go,
Yeah.
you
You
are
took
coming
up
back to
like.
me. I just texted, what is your room number? I want to send a gift to you. Something
Mm.
like that. So she was expecting the gift, and lo and behold, when she opened the door, it was me. So she screamed, we
Ah.
hugged, we got talking and all of that. And the next thing, Atishola goes, she just excuses herself and goes to the balcony and goes to make a telephone call. Okay. So naturally, I didn't make anything of it. Me, I was busy eating her cashew nuts because she likes healthy stuff. I was eating like cashew nuts and just having fun with her smoothies. And then she
Mm-hmm.
came in. And then we just got just normally, just vibing and stuff, just catching up. How is everything going? 4 minutes later or 5 minutes later, Kemi Adetiba walks into the room.
Wow.
And then how I came in, just normal vibe. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
expecting anything. We'd spoken on the phone on 2 occasions through
Okay.
other people, but that was our first meeting encounter in
Yeah.
person. And then in 6 minutes, I started hearing conversations about King of Boys. And then I was looking at Adishola like, like I was looking at her like, what's this conspiracy that is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
That you people are not opening up. And then she just had this smirk on her face, this smirkish smile, and the next thing, conversation changes completely from whatever it was to KOB. Like, I'm like, wait, is it, what's going on here? And then she was like, oh, like, and then Kemi was telling me that the image she had of Adil Tiger as a character, the minute
Uh-huh.
she walked into the room and she saw me,
So it's
it was spot on. That's the image she had in her head. Like,
Mhm.
no, like everybody tells the cliche stories of how, bouncers and everybody, people who look, there's a certain look that you expect from people like that.
Yes.
With thick boys.
Bodyguard.
But she wanted to tell a different story, like, yo, the real mafiosos, they don't look like that. They don't,
Mm-hmm.
like, so that's what she was trying to do. And then I said, all right, well, it's nice. And then I found out that there was already somebody on set
Okay. I was
in
about to
camp
ask
that
that
was supposed to
question.
take the role.
Okay.
6 minutes later, Remy Adetiba, who is my brother, walks into the room
Oh.
and offers me a contract. And I tell him, I don't know how to take people's, like, I can't come and take
Jobs,
people's place.
oh.
But you already have somebody else that is already on set in camp. People have paid hotel bill already for this person to start. You probably shot 1 or 2 scenes and stuff. And Kevin was like, no, no, you don't have to worry about that. I paid him completely. So they actually paid the guy completely, in
Complete.
full, just to
Wow.
say thank you. We,
For
we, we,
coming.
we found somebody else that we want to use for the role. But to cut the long story short, I ended up not going back home that day. I resumed
Wow.
camp that very day because
Wow.
Auntie kept me impressed and and all of that and so what I did was I said, what, let me read the scripts for 2 days.
Mm.
That was my escape route because I still wasn't feeling comfortable that somebody else was on set that was supposed to act like
Yeah.
and what they said surprised me. Like, do you mind reading it here? So that
Ah,
you will get me a room.
don't worry. They don't want you to
don't
just
don't
watch.
go
They
no
don't want
don't
you
go
to put
nowhere and go and
their
disappear on
vicinity
us.
at all.
So that's what happened. So I read the script, and when I read the script, that's part one I'm talking about, not even part two. That's
Mhm.
but when I read the script, I was I was just as pumped.
Hmm.
I was amplified. Like my amplification was almost on the same level as the director, and that's how I am. I'm somebody that is willing to take a risk, take a chance on a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me that dream, and I would ride with you. That's how I am. So I reading the script was it for me. The character wasn't talking too much. It was, and trust me, even if there was never a part two, which
Yeah.
actually
You
wasn't
did.
supposed to be safe, it's the voice
Mm-hmm.
of the audience, our honorable audience,
Yes.
that
So
seems like they're also going to make part three happen. They have brought
it
part two
should.
into life. So I was satisfied with the character. He doesn't talk too much. The character
Mm-hmm.
was more based on reactions, you know, actions.
Yes.
Like actions speak louder than words. That's the Tiger.
Yes. Yes.
Action speaks louder in everything. He doesn't want to talk to you too much.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't need to look how bad he is. He would know
Just
from
know.
his demeanor.
Just
But
know. Yeah.
he doesn't have that, looking like a
Mm-hmm.
bouncer that is about to be crippled
You
with
just
a
know this
thick
one is
voice. He doesn't
dangerous.
look it. So I fell in love with the entire story first. I fell in love
Mm.
with the character breakdown. Yes, because along with the script comes the character breakdown. So the character breakdown is what it kind of encapsulates what the personality the character should embody. Usually, this thing, some directors don't do it, some producers don't do it, but ideally, that's how a script should come. It should come with a character breakdown. So when you read
Yeah.
the character breakdown, you read the script, you read the character breakdown, you understand, and not just yours, you read for every major character. You
Mm-hmm.
understand who they are.
Yes.
It gives you a richer perspective of the story. So I had that with
Exactly.
KOB,
Mm.
and I just fell in love. I just fell in love. So that's the beginning. There are some bits and pieces that I've skipped in between. because you can't do
Mm-hmm.
it on your own day. Maybe
Yeah.
if I have a next meeting, I'll add some small extra adjuster.
Yes, ma.
Yeah,
Yes,
but for
ma.
now, that's how we
Hey.
started. I cannot isolate the fact that there's a strong possibility that Shola Shibawale orchestrated it.
Yes.
But
That's what
still,
it's looking
that's
like.
how things happen in life. When you are, people, somebody needs to connect you somewhere. When you have a
Yes.
date with destiny,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, God is not going to come down from heaven.
No.
Events will
These
happen
people.
that will make it
Yes.
happen, and those events will
Because
be full of stories.
you're prepared, then
Yeah,
it brings the right person that connects, and voila, magic happens.
absolutely.
That's just what it is. Oh, we have it's okay, Ibi. She says this is the spirit of a great actor. Oh yes.
Oh, thank you, thank
Part
you.
three has to happen. Oh, I need to know if that baby at the wheel will be a boy or a girl. Oh my god. The
Oh,
character breakdown, that is it. Yes, yes, definitely. You pretty much answered like three or four of my questions as you were speaking. Was there someone else that was given the role previously? You've
yeah,
given an answer to that.
there was.
Um, you've answered that. Okay. What did you like? What did you take as the role of Adetiga? What would you say? Sorry, not what your why, but you've also answered it because you said it wasn't too much, speaking, the actions, the character, the movement, everything was already speaking on itself. So that's like
Yeah,
you've pretty much answered half of my questions, and then you've answered that it took you 2 days to read the script and assimilate it and
that's
whatnot.
part one. Part two took a
That's
lot longer than that. Trust
hmm
me. Ah,
But
part two
hold
took a lot.
on, when you were reading that part two, now, how did you feel just reading the
Ah,
script?
hey. You see, part two was a total mashup.
Mm.
Like, let me tell you what part two did to me.
Mhm.
It was beyond the film.
Mm.
It was the daringness of Kemi Adetiba.
Mm.
And for me, that is a natural charm for me. I mean, once you're bold, like you're bold to try something out, even if
Yeah.
we know that we are likely going to fail, I will ride with you. That's
Mhm.
how I am. So I know initially when the buzz from the audience, like it is buzzing now, was on.
Yeah.
I can't end the story there like this. When the buzz was on and all of that. There are so many other characters at that time. There's something that we do in Nigeria, which is not bad also, but you can't blame them because of the
Yes.
terrain. You get a lot of people. There's not so much support for filming, so people stake a lot of money for film, and they don't want to take some certain risk. And
Yes.
I'm talking about the marketing perspective. So that marketing perspective is considered even in casting and things like that. So where
Mm.
I'm going with this is there are so many directions that KOB could have gone in
Mm.
respect to characters that had more ground than me. People that
Yes.
had bigger followers and bigger names. And I know
Mm-hmm.
that there were people that were having those conversations with Kemi Adetiba and telling her, "Yo, well, I mean, even if this guy is the best actor yet to be discovered in Africa, let's talk numbers here. People that can bring numbers to the table, let us put them
Tables.
and
Yes.
put them in front."
Mm.
But Kemi was not having any of that. Kemi had fought her battles for Adetiga, Adetiga's because besides the fact that it was a strong story,
Yes.
with the way season one part one ended, that's the only person left for Kemi Adetiba, left for Enola Salami as a child. It was a very strong story.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the impression people had was not even about. They didn't even care if this guy can carry the role or not. It was the marketing perspective. Like,
That is
we know
all.
this guy
Yes.
more as a producer. We know him so we want to give him this kind of role like that. That the story is centered around him. What if the money doesn't break the bank? What's going to happen? But
Hmm.
Kemi was not having any of that. So when
Mm-hmm.
I saw the script, I wasn't
Yeah.
there when she was having those conversations with those people or her associates and everything. But I know the conversations that she could have had. For this script to have been like this, I know the
Mm-hmm.
kind of conversations that she could have had. So for me, that was a daring attempt. And I was
Mm.
willing to ride with that all the way. Like, wake me up in the morning with a dream
Yeah.
like that and guts like that. Tell me,
Mm-hmm.
let's go 60,000 feet and jump from a helicopter blindfolded without knowing what's on the ground. I will jump with you. That's it. So that was what part two did for me first. Understanding what Kami was getting like, let's leave all these marketing things. This is the story that I want. She went with the story. It takes guts. It takes guts to do that in Africa, actually. She
Mm.
went with the story. this is the story.
This is
All
it.
those marketing, all those things. Me, oh, it is the story I am following. So
Mm.
that's why I keep saying KLB is bigger than me as an individual.
Yeah.
It's a statement. See, the making of KLB itself is a film. It's a statement across board that can position a lot of things positively, that can correct a lot of things, a lot of perceptions, that can
Yes.
embolden a lot of producers. It's across board.
Hmm.
So when I saw the script, back to the script, I disengaged from everything I was doing for 1 month. What am I saying? 1 month and 5 days. I did
Wow.
not take any jobs. All the jobs I had taken, I returned their money. I paid everybody back and I apologized to them. Like, I spent the first 2 weeks reading the script alone. So all the twists and turns that everybody that has watched thinks that this all the hypertension people almost had. You see, the actors have died of the hypertension when they're reading the scripts. They have died and resurrected. Me personally, I died resurrected like 5 times because I couldn't just imagine like what is going on. Like at every point in time, you think you have the script figured out,
Yeah.
the direction.
It's a
So
twist.
whatever you guys think, whatever hard beats, whatever hard jump you think you might have had watching KOB, all the major actors, ask RMD, RMD will tell you the same thing. Ask Shola Shoba, will tell you this. Ask Tony Tones, ask Inse. They will tell you the same thing. Like everybody died reading KOB scripts, just reading the scripts. Then the other 2 weeks was embodying the character. I already
Mm.
acted in part one, so I had the background, I had the
Yeah.
foundation. But the amplification that was required because of the weight of the role this time around,
Mm-hmm.
the there was going to be a lot more speaking, there was going to be a lot more action. So what I did was I had to look at characters per se. I was looking at characters that embodied the kind of or portrayed the kind of embodiment that was required for that scene, and I
Mm-hmm.
narrowed down to three actors. Number one was Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible. Number two was John Wick, Keanu Reeves, and number three was um Pierce Brosnan, 007. There's a particular James Bond, yeah, the guy that he was. So those I shadowed those guys. So it was a combination of those three characters
Mm-hmm.
that created the mood that I
Mm.
wanted at the
That's
time.
three.
Yeah, and then Kevin
Mm-hmm.
was so thorough with things like art department. These are the things that make film detailed. Art department, wardrobe, like so many nice films in Nollywood today. It
Yeah.
is simple things like wardrobe and continuity that makes them ridiculous. Wardrobe, you cannot mess with those departments. You cannot
Hmm.
shortchange. Some people say, "Oh, it's just no." You can't shortchange those departments because first and foremost, the first, the most lifting thing for every actor before he gets on set, the only way you can embody his character first is to feel like the character. How will he
Mm.
feel like the character when he wears what?
What is it?
There's some costumes you will wear that you
So
said you will become the person they are talking about.
the spirit will just overcome you.
So what Kemi did was Kemi hired a wardrobe person. His name is Angel. I can never forget the guy. 1 month before the start of film, 2 weeks into reading the script, Angel reached out to me and we had a conversation. We were having conversations daily,
Mm.
scene by scene, about how I wanted to look.
Wow.
And this had nothing to do with the director.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's how you bring a character to life. And trust
Mm.
me, that's why if you notice, Adetiba was not overdressed. Was like it's not like he was wearing everything flashy, but you see everything he was wearing, he
Ah, it
was
makes
hitting
sense.
the spot because
Mm-hmm.
those outfits were broken down per scene, per scene.
Mm.
It was a lot of work. It was a
Wow.
lot of work. Eventually, when myself and Angel were going to give Kemi and Remy and all the other associates producers the template for the costumes that we wanted, they couldn't strike anyone out. It was like we took it to a whole new level.
Mm.
So I mean, I was able to replicate the
Mm-hmm.
perception of the individual I had in mind and how I wanted him to look, and he
Yes.
as a professional was able to bring that to life.
Yeah.
So
Vision.
you
Mm-hmm.
can't, I mean, and that's how it happened for art direction too. The art director, Telegenic
Yeah.
Media, like when you there's a it's a filming is like it's like a blockchain,
Hmm.
all right? It's like a blockchain. When everybody is strong, that is the only time the
Yeah.
chain can hold. But you see, when Out of 10 people, 9 people are strong. And if the one that is weak is the one in the middle, it renders everybody else useless.
Yeah.
That's what waters down our films.
Hmm.
Other things, just that one missing link. So when you dot all the things and cross all the I's, or either ways, cross the T's and dot the I's,
I see.
when you do that, you can't go wrong.
Hmm.
So that's what I mean. KLB was is a total. I don't know why Kemi did not feel the making of KLB. Well, because you never envisage what will happen. We have
Yes.
enormous challenges. Like when you want to do daring things in life, you should be prepared for daring challenges. You should be prepared for mountainous challenges. You can't imagine some of the things that we dealt with in KLB.
Hmm.
Filming KLB, impossible. I'm telling you, live, impossible. As in, things that you would naturally at some point will give up, but because everybody was everybody's energy, we were like
Yeah.
a blockchain
Hmm.
from the cast to the crew. I mean, I personally had worked with 90% of the crew members on different productions, so
Before.
I mean, they were cool with me already. You get me? So most of all the other cast too, they had love, they had mad love for this guy. We had
Hmm.
our little actors WhatsApp group that, do you know how many scenes we reshot?
Hmm.
And anybody that knows production will know that reshooting means money.
Yes.
Money. But once we come together as the actors and say, "Hey, we could have done a little better, you know, and we speak to the director, she never flinches. It's not like she had all the money, but
Hmm.
she will never flinch. That's Kemi for you. Like, all right, guys, let's do it. Let's pick a date. There are several times that other actors, Reminisce, had schedules for shows that he cancelled
Hmm.
because he had to reduce scenes. So
Things.
that's what it took. That's why I say the joy that I feel seeing what is happening. It's not the joy
Yes.
of popularity. No,
No, but
it's way
the job
beyond
well
that.
done.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's the encapsulation of the total experience from
Yes.
start to finish and seeing the acceptance it is gaining. That is the real joy for me.
Wow, wow, wow. This is beautiful. Yeah, we have a lot of users on watching right now, so they're definitely gaining one or two information, and thank you for that. Some people said acting is spiritual. Adetiba needs
Yeah.
a girlfriend in the movie, someone he loves but Oba doesn't like. Hint, hint. I love you already as an actor. Yes, and they said that costume definitely is a big deal. So going to the next question now. We're getting towards the end. But going to the next question now. Of course, you were playing loyal because in all these memes that's going around, I want a customer like I did Tiger. So playing that like loyal character in KOB, in reality, what is your take on loyalty when it comes to partners, businesses, friendship? What's your take on loyalty?
What I would say is I think loyalty is vice versa. All right. Don't give what you don't expect first. And you cannot give what you don't have, which is the truth. For me personally, I have three tick boxes. All right. First, um, and well, it varies across spheres of life. What I use for my personal life is different from what I use for my business life. For my business life, the first thing is do what is right by principle. That is, every business has its guidelines and principles. So do what is right by principle first. Do what is right by honor. That is your integrity. Let your word be your bond. Let people be believable. Let people be able to hold what you say like it is solid, and then you can do what is right by conscience.
Hmm.
So there's a reason why it's arranged that way for business. Because if you have conscience comes with empathy, emotions, and things. If you put that
You
first,
need
you
to do
make a lot of wrong
business.
decisions.
Mm.
So there's a reason why those two first follow the business principles and guidelines. Honor. Then you cannot use empathy and conscience to solidify it all. You get for personal life, that principle for me is representation of God. Do what is right by God first.
Mm.
And you can't please God. Doing what is
Mm.
right by God means doing right to people like you. It's what you do to people that is a
Yeah.
reflection of how you get me. So
Yes.
do what is right by people by God first.
God.
By God.
Mm.
Honor still remains in the second place.
Mm.
And then empathy.
Empathy.
So the same. So for business, it is principle.
Mm-hmm.
Personal life, it is God
God.
or humanity, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
good. It's good. So now that, of course, you've been in the industry for a minute, but now you're doing a lot of the back work. Now coming to the limelight, people are throwing your memes up and down the whole place. How have you been able to embrace it without, sometimes you're a little conscious to say, I don't want to lose myself in it all.
yeah.
How have you been able to find that central, enjoy it, but don't lose yourself? How have you been coping with that?
All right. Well, first, I know usually people always say, "Oh, it's the grace of God." Yes, all of that is resident. Okay, fine. I mean, you can't eliminate grace from anything that you do. Grace is what presents opportunity
Yes.
first, and um, but more going forward from that,
Mm-hmm.
I think that I've been in the industry for a long time. Have had different tastes of different things in bits and pieces, even popularity before. And so, if at this stage, I mean, I'm still finding myself losing myself. No, I like the understanding is more robust than that. It's more robust. Like everything in life is an opportunity. That's what it is,
Mm,
and it's a stepping stone to something else. And everything is momentary. You got to understand. Tomorrow there will be some other breakout stars from some other film. I mean, and they
yeah.
will have their time too. So there really is nothing for you to be losing yourself about. It's for you to understand the responsibility on your neck now that sorry,
Mm-hmm.
that people, people adore you this much because of the experience you have created for them.
Yeah.
The next challenge is to ensure that that expectation is not let down. You got to continue creating that experience. You
Yes.
got to keep, breaking the barrier. You got to keep pushing yourself because
Mm-hmm.
of the joy that you give people now. It's a huge responsibility. So it's no reason to lose yourself or to get, I mean, that's all just when you're growing in the industry, you can make those mistakes. But I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen people rise and fall over the years, like people that I've been close to.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the traction. I've had a taste of it too. I know the times that I did mismanage back in the day. So at this point, at this stage, I mean, I'm not the same person I used to be
Yeah.
15, 16 years ago when I started in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So even though this might be coming now, I'm not exactly a rookie. So, and by the grace of God, I hope that there will not be temptations that will lead me to places that would, yeah, because naturally life is full of temptation. And if there are, well, it's all good.
Yes.
I'll take the hit and move on. It
Yeah.
won't be the first, it won't be the 50th. That's it.
Jumping to my next question. How do you now manage all these your female fans always throwing advances at you? How do you manage? How do you keep a straight face?
Okay, well, it's like there is no keeping a straight face. No, that would be utter disrespectful. We see it from two different perspectives, right? I see it
Mm,
from the perspective of positive energy, which is very welcome. These people, it doesn't mean everybody that is saying some type of things means it literally. It's just how they feel towards you, and it's all just a reflection of the experience you have given them with your performance. So you got
mm,
to embrace that. You got to embrace that, and you got to not take advantage of it. You get me? Because that just defeats the entire purpose. You
mm.
just have to embrace it. So for me, I see it from a perspective of positive energy. I love every single one of them just as much. And if I had my ways, like when next time I'm positive, everywhere I go to, I try to do a
Mm,
little meet and greet where I can just get to meet people who want to meet me, have a
yeah,
one-on-one encounter. I will do the
mhm,
same thing in Toronto too. Everywhere I go, I'm going to be doing that because it's positive energy. They just want to celebrate you. That's it.
yeah,
So, and what I mean, why when you find yourself in a position like that,
mhm,
that actually should even make you more humble because it's a rare privilege. It is
yes,
a rare privilege. So
mhm,
that's not. I mean, people see it from different perspectives. Some people will see it as, oh, I mean, not now, man. Like, yeah, even there's some things I've grown past in life. Even when I
mhm,
was in university and all of that, I had my I had my exuberances and I had my limits, but
yeah,
not now, not now, not now. So I will go to an event. I will hug 10 women. I will hug 20 women who want to hug me. I will very warmly. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to. No, I I
mhm,
I I, I appreciate the honor of the fact that they put me in that position, and
yes,
I'm grateful for the fact that I'm able to give them that much of an experience to make them feel that way towards me, and
yes.
I would celebrate them just as much as they celebrate me with every opportunity I have.
But I'm sure in the past or still in the industry, you've definitely found ways to be able to put a stop, or because there's some that will always want to pass the boundaries. We know that fans are always, you have one or two that always want to push it. I'm sure you've been able to find a way to.
You have to show understanding. Okay,
Hmm.
you have to. It's a moment thing for them. Do you know what it means for somebody to be in your presence and be totally carried away or lost from themselves? That's not something. That's when you, as a person, you gotta protect. That's when you have to protect the person. So it's not about really putting a stop. No, you got to show understanding. That is a momentary thing, all right. And it depends on how you handle it. If you handle it properly, that
Hmm.
moment will pass, and the person would still, put you in that same place with so much respect and all of that. But when
Okay.
you try to push off and try to keep them, no, you don't do that because I mean you're going to ruin the moment. I mean, you're giving this person an experience. This person is seeing you for the first time and has an opportunity to show how much they feel based on the experience you've given them, and then you want to be pushing them back. No, you just got to show understanding. You have to be the
Hmm.
understanding one, extra. All right. Look,
Yeah.
anybody that does anything does it intentionally. That's what I will tell you. So there's no
Mm.
such thing as, oh, there's the fan was pushing to her. Nah, you had your intention. So I don't give excuses for things. I mean,
Yeah.
own it. That's me. Just own it.
Mm.
So it's how you handle it. If you handle it properly, you got to protect the person. You got to, you got to understand that some of these things is not, even though it may seem like that is what it was. If you take advantage, that's what it will become.
Mm.
No doubt about it. But you got to protect the person. You got to understand where that feeling is coming from. You got to understand. And then you got to show understanding. And that's it.
Well said. Taiwo Leole is blowing kisses. Mrs. Isoken, he says, that is it. You have to keep giving the experience. Well said. So, you guys, if you have any last questions, start putting it out there. We're about to round up. One of my last questions, of course, is what are we expecting next from Mr. Titi Kuti?
All right. A number of things. I've been studying and expanding myself as far as my craft is concerned for some time now, quietly, while I'm also building projects on the ground. So I'm not going to let any of them out the back now, but I might be dropping my own short film very soon at some point. Yeah, how soon I will not tell you. I'm talking to people, growing partnerships,
Hmm.
establishing collaborations because you really can't do it alone. It's something I always preach when I have the chance. You can't do it alone. It's only in Nigeria. Well, we're coming out of that phase now that everybody wants to do and eat all the money themselves. Now, if you look at Hollywood films, look at Hollywood projects, look at the end credits, you will see big names that
Yeah.
have their own independent films that will still collaborate to do something great. It doesn't change
Hmm.
the fact that they are healthy competition to themselves, but it's just collaboration. It's a collaboration-based industry. The more people collaborate, the richer
It
your
becomes.
result will be. So yeah, I'm working on so many collaborations, so many events, so many things in the pipeline, and
Hmm.
I'm just one can plan, one can plan, one can try, and we'll see which of them the universe will accept and allow to come to bear. That much is beyond me as a person. So I'm beyond anybody. We can only just try and do what we got to do, and just keep trying, and that's it.
That's superb. They're asking, when are you coming to Toronto? I've answered,
Well,
but answer.
you already mentioned the confirmed dates. The other
Yes.
dates will be announced by the producers of the events. I'm not going to announce
Hmm.
before them. So, but the one that is confirmed is the one that you just announced.
Yes, which is October 10th. They asked that, how do you set boundaries?
So back to what I said earlier. All right,
Hmm.
setting boundaries doesn't have to do with the other person. You have to first understand that part. It is about you. All right, it's about what you allow yourself to do, or it is about you. Don't blame the other person. The other person is just celebrating you and just being in the moment of excuse me,
Hmm.
celebrating you. And it's for some it's an enigmatic feeling, for some others it's an electric feeling. They don't know how to react. So but the boundary is on you actually. That doesn't mean that you know you push people off, or it doesn't mean any of that. You got to show understanding. There are some celebrities that I've seen that do this so easily. And I think most times it comes down to the character of the individual himself. Who is that person indeed? The person's character starts to reflect. in things like that. Some people that, their character is what will determine, how they, each and everybody. So I think my own, for me, I think that is the area where my own person possibly reflects, because I'm not that kind of person that, takes advantage. But some other people, that's what they are. They want to jump on every opportunity and take every advantage they can take. To just take one step, they are going to drag you the rest of the 3 kilometers themselves. But that's them. So people need to understand one thing, that the boundaries is not about the other person. People definitely will go overboard, out of line, sometimes, but you got to understand where that feeling is coming from, where that action is coming from, and show understanding for it. So the boundary is on you.
Sorry, I hope that answered the question, Mrs. Isoke. So do you have any what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for now? Any motivational saying that maybe keeps you going, but also you can pass on to those who are behind you, who are also trying to make their own ways in the industry to keep them going. Especially, we know it's not very easy. You've been doing it for years, and you didn't just get in there and start shining tomorrow. So, what motivational advice would you give to those who are coming behind you and also trying to make way in the industry?
Well, for me, it's a simple line: you got to keep showing up, and that reflects in all spheres. I mean, fall 10 times, get up 20 times. Fail once, try again. Whatever it is, anyhow that statement can be magnified into many other statements that can be translated in different ways. But for me, it all still boils out. You have to keep showing up. You have to keep showing up. Show up for life. I mean, it's one life you got. It is This is all you have to do. Everything you want to do. There's not going to be a second show. There's no, oh, I didn't do this time, so I'll have it. No. So you got to keep showing up, even when you fail. You got to.
Mm,
As a matter of fact, the times you got to show up quicker is when you fail, because sometimes failure is almost at the point of success. Sometimes failure is for lessons. Sometimes failure is for expansion. Failure comes with so many different things. It doesn't necessarily. So you just gotta keep. That's for me. You can interpret it in any other way, or say it in better words. But for me, you gotta keep showing up. That's it.
You guys, you've heard it. You gotta keep showing up. So Tark Media says Adetiba is a true definition of truly understanding your craft. Go through the process. When the time comes, you're more than ready. Take the time to learn your craft. Agreed. Well
Thank
done,
you.
brother. Preach it. Oh, collaboration is the key. Oh, people hear word. They say collaboration. We've been saying this for since how many months now? Collaboration is key. Someone says, "Don't worry, your Toronto family is here for you." So when you get here, when you come, we got you.
Oh yeah, now I'm looking forward to it.
We got you. Tag Media says, whatever you do it for you and not anyone. It's you at the end of the day. Yes, yes, yes. So show up, show up, show up. We want to say thank you so much for giving us your time, your energy, your spirit. What do you call it? We appreciate you. We don't take it for granted. Um, we're definitely going to talk later. But we just want to say thank you for coming on Chat with Ade. God bless you in your craft. We know you're skillful. We know you've got a lot of gifts that you still need to share with the rest of the world. And Godspeed when it comes to that. Everything you do
Amen.
continue to be a success, and we're right there to celebrate with you. Thank you so much. Have a
Amen. Thank you
lovely
very much
day.
for having me. Excuse me. Thank you very
Mhm.
much for having me. It's been an amazing session. I've had so much fun. This is for now. This is the high point of my day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy we had this conversation. I'm happy about all the questions. Big thank you
Hmm.
to everybody that showed up. I mean, it's the morning. People are trying to get on their hustle. For
Yes.
those that are in Nigeria, I mean, it's the afternoon. People are trying to get
Afternoon.
on their hustle, all that traffic, and
Yes.
you guys can still make time to come here just to participate in this chat. I don't take it for granted. I really appreciate you guys. And if I had my ways, I would do this 10, 100 times. 10, 100. You guys, any such one again and again. Thank you so much for having me. And I
Yes.
love you all till I
Mhm.
die. My helper now.
And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Have a blessed weekend. We love you.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Oh man. So guys, there you have it. Mr. Titi Kuti, aka Adetiga, also known as TK. Live here, chat with Hadi. Thank you guys so much. We know it's not our regular time, but we thank you guys for coming out to watch and be what do you call it? And be partakers of the program. I guess if you're not following, follow Adi_babes. Follow us on our YouTube channel, Adiba Connected TV, and do subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. And we thank you. We love you. Have a blessed weekend. Bye.